What's going on, ESGN Nation, and welcome back to another episode here of the Highland Scotties Team Builder Dynasty episode 119. As today we're finishing up the off-season video here. We're going to let you guys know what the custom conferences are, and trust me, they are custom. As well as the BCS tie-ins, some of the changes we're making to the conferences, you'll see some of the teams, cross rivalries, stuff like that. Let's go ahead and go into it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you guys can get the latest videos and news and everything about what's going on here on ESGN, ESGNet, and of course our second channel, ESGNet Plus LP. Definitely go subscribe over there if you haven't done that yet either. So just take a look here at Big 12 North. You got BYU, Cincinnati, Highland, Iowa State, Kansas, Utah, and West Virginia. In the South, you got Arizona State, Baylor, Houston, Oklahoma State, TCU, Texas Tech, and UCF. Now, of course, if we could add on some other schools, I would love to add Colorado to the mix, which I think that's a school that we're probably missing out on because we already got the two. We already got the three other corner schools there. Of course, this is their second year. Arizona State, their second year with us. Utah being the newest one. And of course, I would love to add, if I could add two more schools, I would love to add, Colorado to the mix. And then I would say probably another Florida school there as well. Or UTSA would be another school I was thinking about adding. But as you take a look here at some of the custom conferences, some of them I've added. I try to keep them as close to what they are in real life. I had to do a lot of research, looking up schools, where they're going. Then of course this is for next year, the 2024 season. So of course we've always been ahead, about a couple seasons ahead of time when it comes to custom conferences. And then of course some of those conferences in the past I just like, okay, we're just gonna throw you guys together to see how it works. But there you see the UCLA Bruins there, of course, in the West, along with USC, Nebraska, Minnesota, Illinois, Iowa, Wisconsin in the West there in the Big Ten. Of course, the East, both Michigan schools there, Ohio State, Penn State, Rutgers, Purdue, and Maryland and Rutgers. Conference USA, there you see not too many changes there. Might have got rid of a couple of schools there for the most part, but I think we did our best to keep it to what it'll look like. Of course, there's some new schools in that conference next year in IRL, but this year I wouldn't have that. Idaho, we ended up putting back in the along there with UMass and Notre Dame as independents. MAC did not change at all. As for the Mountain West, you got, of course, Boise back in there. Wyoming, Utah State, Colorado State Air Force. The same usual suspects in that. Pac-12, now this is what we've been talking about in the last video. Colorado's going to stay there. Oregon State, Washington State are going to stay there. They're going to be, of course, playing each other, but they will have a larger. Of course, they'll play each other. Obviously, they'll have 4 conference games, and then of course they'll have the rest of the games will be non-conference. SEC again, just like last season, season 7, we started off with Oklahoma and Texas there in the West and the SEC, and of course, no changes really there from last season. Sun Belt, there you see there a lot of those there. We've moved some teams around that will be in the 2024 season next year this time in real life. So we went ahead and moved those teams as well. And then take a look at some of the conference. We started to some of these, I know for the Big Ten and for the SEC, we're going to start week 1 right off the bat, I believe, with their conference games. Then as for conferences like the American, Sun Belt, they're going to have games on Thursday and Friday nights there. So that means all the rest of us, of course, Big 12, we're going to have Thursday night games. This has just been a tradition they've had for years now. But for the most part, everybody else will be playing on any of the Big 5, the Power 5 conferences or in this case, it'll be Power 4 if you don't add Pac-12. Those will be playing. They won't have any weekday games. They'll be on Saturday night, and like the Big Ten here, you see they'll be playing. They can play their conference games. They can start conference games as soon as week 1. Same thing with the SEC. I think ACC. I think we decided week 4, just like with the Big 12 as well. And of course, there you see some of the other 5 of the group of 5 conferences there. And what they've pretty much the same rules that pretty much apply for them. I didn't really do any changes with them when it comes to when they're starting their conference games, which is like week 5. So that means they can play their first 3 or 4 non-conference games there at the beginning of the season if they want. But for the most part here, there you see all the conference, the rivalries, the cross protected rivalries there. I try to put the schools that are really do dislike each other as best I possibly could. And of course, obviously, we're going to start some new rivalries with schools, especially that obviously in the Big Ten, UCLA and USC are going to be playing against each other, so that rivalry is protected. There's no cross rivalry. Others, I tried my best to keep them protected as best I possibly could. So again, you can look down there. If I messed anything up, let me know down below in the comment section. I'll try to fix it for next season. But I think I pretty much did not really mess with those at all, especially the SEC. Because Wichita are on the same side anyway, Oklahoma and Texas. So take a look here. We're looking at some of the positions that will be in need. Defense, looks like we need a defensive tackle, middle linebacker there. So we're going to try to get 2 or 3 apiece for the positions that we need. I'm thinking probably about 4 players per position. Depth chart wise, we're going to talk more about the players coming up next season. I'm trying to put a package together here, a video thing for that. So hold your breath on that, because we are going to talk about some of these players. I want to get more in depth with some of the players that we'll be talking about, and just have a little extra fun with it and whatnot. But yeah, this team, I think we might be I don't think we'll be a perfect team this year. I think we might have a lot of bumps in the road. I think there might be a good chance that we might lose a big game. I think one of the games I'm really scared about is a Kansas game. You guys think I'm kidding when I'm saying that, but I'm not. Kansas is just something weird happens every time we play against them. I don't care if we're home, and especially if we're on the road, it's just weird. So that's one game I am nervous about. BYU starting to climb up and getting better. That's kind of our rival within this series. But I think for the most part here, we got Clemson here. I definitely have them on the schedule here. You'll see the schedule here in just a bit. But there's some pretty good games that I think could go either way for us. Some of the teams I named, those are the ones I'm kind of like, oh, like this could be interesting. We could have right now we have a 74 game winning streak on active, but I think we have like a 26 some game home winning streak right now that could be on the line this year, because we're playing 2 of our 3 non-conference games at home, and I think we have again conference wise, I think we're split again 6-6. So noise could be made this year against teams against us that could give us a good scare. Like I said, we got new players here. We got new things going on. So we take a look here. We got Colorado. That's a home game for us. We're going to go on the road to Clemson. And I believe that's a neutral site game. I forgot where it's being played at. But I think it is a neutral site game. Then we got Rice. That'll finish up our regular season. Or our non-conference, I should say. And then Big 12 starts in week 4. as we play TCU. And then we got 2 weeks that we're going to be open. Of course, one of those weeks we'll talk about recruiting. But weeks 5 and 6 we will have open. So we don't really know. We don't have anybody. We can't schedule anybody there. But we got 2 weeks that are open up, and then we go into Big 12 play. We really get into it, and of course, our first tough test is going to be against number 24 ranked Oklahoma State, and this has been a rivalry for this series ever since back in season 5 when we started going into the Big 12. That's been a team that's been on our backside for a while there. Then on the road to Iowa State, at home against Cincinnati. That was a good game last year. They're on the road against Cincinnati. Utah, we go to Utah for the first time, and then we come home for Kansas and as well as West Virginia. On the road to Aggieville there in K-State, and of course we have a ranked opponent there with BYU to finish off the regular season. So, like I said, a lot of things on the line there. And like I said, if you guys want to see any more changes, or you think there's some things I should change, let me know. But of course, I want to make it as close to realistic, how the realistic conferences are as much as possible and whatnot that I can. Because remember, you can only fit 16 teams in a conference. But I think for the most part, I like what we have. And, there you go. Tough as nails. We're going to be trying to see if we can be successful at home against the Buffaloes of Colorado. Team Coach Prime is going to be in town. And we'll see. I don't think he is. I don't think that's the actual coach here in this one. But we'll see what we can do against Colorado. Should be a good game. I cannot wait. Like I said, it's a home game for us. So we'll be there at Kensington Stadium hosting them. And should be a good crowd. Cannot wait for the dog pound to get rowdy. But again, we'll have before we get to this game, we'll have a video talking about the team, and we'll talk about the players and who are going to be our huge impacts, who's going to have to make a huge impact for us early on in the season, and of course, some players to watch out for. And of course, we'll preview this game between Colorado. First time Colorado and Highland have met here in this series, matter of fact. So yeah, we'll see. And of course, we'll see who our starting quarterback's going to be, because we got a battle for that. So a lot of things going on as we start season 8. This should be a good one. I cannot wait for us to get into this one. But if you did enjoy today's episode, and of course, always leave a comment. We appreciate it. But if you did enjoy today's episode, please leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe if you happen to be new. Hit that bell notification so you guys can be notified of this series or any of the series that happens to drop here on the channel. Don't forget to go check us out on our second channel, as we have a nice series over there as well in college football with the Stanford Cardinals. There should be a link somewhere down below or in the eye up above in this video for that. So definitely go check that out as well. And of course, go subscribe and support the channel, the second channel over there here on YouTube at ESGNet Plus LP. There's a link down below for that as well. And of course, I'll probably in the eye there as well. You guys can go over there and subscribe and check out content over there as well. So again, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for that video about the team and the preview for this game of season 8 coming up very soon. As always, go Scotty Nation, and keep yourselves and each other healthy, and I will see you all next time.